Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be going over our weekly forecast here from March 22nd until March 29th. Now, before I get started with this very exciting video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, where is your favorite travel location in the entire world? And if you've guessed the same one that I'm thinking, I will put that for tomorrow's video. So go ahead and comment down below what your favorite travel destination is. Now, first things first, we're going to be looking at last week's temperature forecast and then comparing it to what actually happened. So key notes here is that the West Coast was looking colder than normal according to my forecast, as well as the Midwest, and then we see areas in the Southeast, Deep South, and kind of the South Central United States were looking quite warm, as well as the Mid-Atlantic. A little bit of cool air there for the interior New England states as well. Now, in 3, 2, 1, here's what actually happened, and you can see that definitely we were on point for the colder than normal conditions there for the West Coast and up through the Midwest, also for the Deep South, the South Central, the Southeast, and the Mid-Atlantic. The only really thing that I think went wrong kind of is we were calling for colder than normal conditions there for areas in New England, and that didn't really pan out as good as it could have. But really, I would say this forecast went really well. But let me know in the comments what you thought of last week's forecast based on what you've just seen on what I've just showed you. All right, now let's get into this week's forecast. Well, we're about to, and we're going to go over our precipitation forecast first, which is big. We have a lot to talk about in the precipitation forecast, and then we'll start talking about that temperature forecast and even our special note segment of the video. Now, to get things started, I wanted to show you guys our first area with above normal precipitation here, and this one's a kind of awkward shape here. We have areas in Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, even up through into New England as well, but down through the Mid-Atlantic and even into portions of the Southeast, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. We see Alabama and Mississippi in there, Arkansas and Louisiana as well, and then a bit of Texas, or I guess a sliver of Texas there, is also involved in this above average precipitation region. Now let's add our second layer to that here. We can see Tennessee is in that, some of the northern Deep South states as well. We see up through the Mid-Atlantic and into southern New England as well there in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So this one's going to take a big swath of an area here, and you could pretty much tell where the storm track is going to be this week regularly, tracking through the Southeast and then up through into the Mid-Atlantic is kind of the trend for next week moving forward. Now we're about to move on and talk about one more precipitation region, or above average precipitation region, and then we'll get into the below average precipitation, and then we will finally get into the temperature segment of this video. Alright, so here's that second area with above normal precipitation, and this is going to be for California, Nevada, and then in through the Four Corner states as well, including the Southern Rockies. I'm expecting some winter storms to be possible here for the Rockies, so expect some snowfall to be possible. We'll talk a little bit more about that during our special note segment of the video, so be on the lookout for that towards the end of this video. Now, for your below average precipitation here, starting things off, we have one for the West Coast that extends all the way up and through the Rockies into portions of the upper Midwest as well, like North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. That's the upper peninsula, and then the very northern regions of the southern peninsula of Michigan there as well. So lots of regions here in this below average precipitation region. We have a second one here for portions in Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and even a little bit of Kansas as well. These are only going to be areas in slightly below average precipitation, so really, it might not be too noticeable, but it definitely will be a little bit below average as far as precipitation is concerned here for a lot of these regions that we've just mentioned. We even have a third region with these below average precipitation conditions being expected. And these are just areas where generally we're just going to have a little less storms than what's expected. This time of year for the Deep South and the Southeast here, like what we're showing for this third region, we typically would be having a lot of thunderstorms, and I think we're just going to get a little bit less of that than what we're typically used to this time of year. So for areas in coastal Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and even southern Georgia there, now we even have a second layer up here for that northwest region of the United States, where this is going to be where we're going to have some more dry conditions than the surrounding regions. For Northern California there, and then coastal Oregon, I'm expecting moderately below average precipitation, so it's going to be quite the dry week here for the Pacific Northwest. Once again, we've had multiple dry weeks strung together here for the Northwest, and this is a continued streak that we're going to have to keep going down. Now, we're about to move on and get into our exciting temperature forecast for this week, which I'm very excited to talk to you guys about. Lots of exciting things coming up. Now, first things first, we're going to be talking about our above average temperature region here. So this one's going to extend all the way from New Mexico in through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, into portions of the deep south, the mid-Atlantic, the southeast, even up through the Midwest and the upper Midwest there. So lots and lots of regions here included in our slightly above average temperature region. And again, this is going to be an area where it's generally going to be a bit warm. We've been experiencing kind of a heat wave for this region where it's been very, very warm, quite pleasant. I live in this region. It's been quite pleasant a lot of days. Last night it started to get really cold, and then throughout the day today, but it was really nice before that. And we're going to have some more of that continued nice spring-like weather for a lot of these regions. Now, we even have a second layer here for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and even through some of the other deep south states like Mississippi, Alabama, and then even the southeast states like Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, all included in this moderately above average temperature region. This is where it's just going to start to get even warmer and warmer and warmer than what's normally anticipated here for a lot of these regions. This could be quite warm there for portions of the states that are very, very far south here. We even have a third layer, and this is just where I'm expecting it to be far above normal temperatures here for portions of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and a little bit of Georgia, and then the panhandle of Florida there. So this is an area, I would say that just takes over the entire deep south. When I imagine the deep south, that's basically that dark red region to me, and that's the area where we're expecting far above normal temperatures this upcoming week. So I mean, it's going to be very far above normal as far as temperatures are concerned, and you're really going to feel it out there. It's going to be quite warm, to say the least. All right, now we're about to move on and start talking about where we're going to see some below average temperatures, and then we'll finally get into our special note segment of the video, and then your comment of the day. Now, for your below average temperature region, we can see that this is going to be for the western United States. A lot of the four corner states, pretty much excluding New Mexico there. We see the Southwest like California and Nevada. Then we even see the Pacific Northwest like Oregon and Washington. Some of the Rocky states like Idaho, Wyoming, and even up through Montana as well. And then we see some of the Great Plains like Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota getting involved. So this is a very large swath of the country in this slightly below average temperature region. I think it's going to be quite cool for a lot of these areas actually. But again, if you're only in the light blue, you might not really notice it too much. But I think that there definitely will be some areas in there that definitely get pretty far below normal, and it will be noticeably cold this week. And I think the West has been dealing with some cold really for a few weeks now, so it's not going to feel much different than how it's felt. I guess that's how I'm trying to get across for that note there. Now, here's our second layer for below average temperatures, and we're really expecting this throughout California, Nevada, even some portions of Idaho and Oregon being included in that as well. And then down there for Arizona and Utah. And again, some of these blue shades are also where we're expecting some snowfall this upcoming week as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to be seeing the cold air and then some snow come through, some late season snowfall. But really, that's not to be unexpected this time of year. This time of year, it's very, very common to see snow for a lot of those regions out in the West, obviously. If you live there, you'd know that for sure. Now, let's get into that special note segment of the video, and sure enough, our first special note here is for the snowstorms that are possible for this purple region. You can see throughout some of the mountains there for Oregon and Washington, and then even through the Rockies like Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, and then Colorado, and even down through portions of Arizona and New Mexico going to be included in that. And these are where generally snowstorms will be possible. I think California could get some snowfall for some of the mountains there, but really I think the Rockies are where it's going to be the most definite, or I guess the highest chance of seeing snowfall. And then for your special note number 2, we're going to have multiple severe weather chances within this red area. This does not mean that if you're outside of the red area that you're not going to see severe weather, but I'm pinpointing specifically this red area to see severe weather this week. I think that we will have a few events within that red area that's going to lead to some hazardous weather, to say the least. Some pretty severe weather. Severe thunderstorms are going to be pretty potent. For this time of year, obviously, a few slight risks are likely for this region. And obviously, even if there's only marginal or slight risks, always take it seriously, guys, because that's what happened in Nashville. There was only a slight risk for severe weather, and then we saw what happened there. So obviously, I don't want anything like that to happen again, where people get caught off guard. Now, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, do you think Bigfoot is real? And Wrecker Johnny said, well, I'll just leave it to you guys to read that one that's on screen. It gave me a good laugh. I thought it was really funny. Thanks for the comment, Wrecker Johnny. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media, and I will see you guys in the next video.